The dawn always came softly in my village, brushing the treetops with gold and rousing the songs of the birds. I would wake to the scent of the earth, warm and alive, mingling with the aroma of porridge my wife prepared. Our hut, humble but strong, was the heart of my world. My wife, Ebony, with her laughter as bright as the sun, and our two children, Sephew and Adia, filled my days with purpose. Life was hard but beautiful. We tilled the soil, told stories by the fire, and danced to the rhythms of the drum, our feet pounding the earth in celebration of life itself. Our village was a community woven tightly together, like the fabric Ebony wove on her loom. We lived in harmony, bound by shared traditions, rituals, and the spirit of kinship. I was proud to hunt and provide for my family, to teach Sephew the ways of the land, and to see Adia's tiny fingers mastering the intricate beadwork her mother showed her. I thought this life would stretch on forever, unbroken and whole. But fate had other plans, cruel and unrelenting. It began on an ordinary evening, the air heavy with the scent of rain. The traders came like ghosts in the night, their pale faces painted with greed and their weapons gleaming in the moonlight. They came with fire and chains, tearing through the village like a hurricane. I woke to screams, to chaos. They seized me as I fought to shield Ebony and the children. My fists struck hard, but their weapons struck harder. I saw Ebony's face, twisted in terror, and heard her voice calling my name as they dragged me away. Sephew clung to my leg until a rough hand tore him free. My heart shattered as I glimpsed Adia, crying for me, her small body trembling in her mother's arms. I was thrown into a cage with others from my village, our cries echoing in the darkness. The journey to the coast felt endless. Each step was agony, each moment a reminder of all I had lost. The slavers spoke in harsh tongues, their laughter like the barking of wild dogs. They herded us like cattle, branding us with their cruelty. When we reached the sea, I saw a ship, monstrous and alien, its sails billowing like a predator's wings. The ship's belly was a place of nightmares. Packed so tightly we could scarcely move, the air reeked of sweat, filth, and despair. The moans of the sick and dying were a constant symphony of suffering. I felt the ship's relentless sway beneath me, a cruel reminder that we were far from home, trapped between the sky and the abyss. Food was scarce and vile, water even scarcer. We were whipped for crying, for praying, for simply existing. I clung to hope, a fragile ember in the storm. I thought of Ebony's smile, of Sephew's laughter, of Adia's tiny hands. I whispered their names to myself, a prayer to the ancestors to keep them safe. My soul ached for the village's familiar rhythm, for the soil beneath my feet and the warmth of my family's embrace. When we reached the foreign land, my torment deepened. I was sold, like livestock, to a man whose cruelty knew no bounds. The days bled into an endless cycle of labor and pain. My back bore the scars of his whip, my hands bled from the work. Nights were no refuge, haunted by dreams of my family's faces and the fear that they, too, had been taken. Yet, through it all, I never let go of the hope that I might one day return home. Years turned into decades. I grew old, my body frail, my heart heavy. But the ember of hope never died. One night, I seized my chance. I hid in the shadows of a European vessel, my breath shallow, my heart pounding. Days passed in suffocating silence, but I endured. The sea, my prison for so long, became my path to freedom. When the ship docked in Africa, my legs buckled as I stepped onto the soil of my homeland. The land felt familiar yet foreign, as if it had moved on without me. I found my way back to my village, or what was left of it. The huts were gone, the fields overgrown. Time had erased the life I once knew. I searched for Albany, for Sefiu and Adia, but they were nowhere to be found. My heart broke anew as I realized the truth. 30 years had passed. Perhaps they had fled to another village. Perhaps they had perished. Or perhaps they had been taken, like me, their lives consumed by the same monstrous trade. I fell to my knees and wept, my tears soaking the earth that had once been my home. Now, I sit beneath the ancient baobab tree, its roots deep and unyielding, a symbol of resilience. My body is frail, my spirit battered, but my hope endures. I speak to the wind, calling their names, hoping that somewhere they hear me. I pray that they remember me as I remember them. The pain of loss is unending, but so is the strength of love. And in that love, I find a sliver of peace.